I chose not to consider Black War Greymon a villain because as the title of his first appearance confirms, he is an anti-hero. It is quite clear why Black War Greymon became a fan favorite. First of all, this guy has a really well-developed personality, conveyed more than competently by excellent voice acting. The fact that he is confused about his place in the world around him provides many opportunities for good dialogue and character interaction. As with other misled characters in Zero Two, it is understandable why he does the things he does, mostly due to the fact that he actually thinks before he acts, as is evidenced by the many insights that he derives, such as during his conversation with Azulagmon and his first confrontation with Oikawa. His motivation is quite realistic. Think about it. If you were born with a fully developed mental capacity and with no life experience, how would you see things? It also doesn't hurt that he practically mops the floor with anyone that attempts to fight him, and provides for many excellent battles, the best probably being his fight with War Greymon. Many of these battles are a good indication of Black War Greymon's perseverance and natural aptitude for fighting. His death near the end of the series is executed almost flawlessly, with the character ending his life, finding the answers he was always seeking, and learning the meaning of self-sacrifice, bringing his story full circle. As a side note, I am aware that many people compare the character Beelzemon to Black War Greymon. I personally prefer Black War Greymon for many reasons, but that's just my opinion, and I fully acknowledge anyone's right to disagree. Honestly, it can be argued either way, and I'd rather not delve into this. Another common criticism of Zero Two is that the dialogue is practically saturated with bad puns and unnecessary jokes. This is only half true. Compared to the previous seasons, the puns are more frequent, even though more of the humor is actually amusing. Some good examples are episode 12 of the season, which is full of effective visual gags, and the episode Stone Soup, which has plenty of clever remarks and slapstick humor. However, I will not consider this an inherent problem of this season, because it was actually a result of micromanagement. Basically, the director of the season, Jeff Nimoy, was constantly forced to make the show as amusing as possible, resulting in the jokes that many fans complain about. For this reason, I don't consider this season as ever reaching its full potential. Some of the dialogue appears to have garnered strange comments. For example, a recent review of this season compared it to Captain Planet, supposedly because of its many cliches about following your dreams and never giving up. That's actually a funny comment, considering that last I checked, Captain Planet was about saving the Earth from pollution, not following your dreams. Also, the only instance in the entire season that the whole follow your dreams idea is integrated is at the end, when the main group attempts to inspire the Darkspore-infected children. Some of Zero Two's more serious moments, such as the appearance of Wizardmon's ghost, and Ken's recollection of his past, actually have really good dialogue, that most people just don't seem to notice. Honestly, much of the corny dialogue disappears after the Emperor arc. Plot-wise, the writing of this season is excellent. As can be expected, the animation of Zero Two is a bit better than the first season. There is still a heavy use of recycled footage, but that is prevalent in most seasons, so it should not be regarded as a problem. The settings are well animated, and although they are not as imaginative as they were in Season 1, they are more imaginative than what would generally be seen in following seasons. Nevertheless, I will acknowledge that the general animation for Seasons 3 and 5 surpassed that of any other. The character designs are pretty good for the Digimon, and I think that the fact that there are many more forms in this season enabled the animators to let loose creatively. Some complain that there are too many evolutionary forms in this season, but many of these forms practically disappear during the Black War Greymon arc, so this should not be a problem. For the humans, the character designs are standard, and it is a plus that the characters' appearances really match their ages, and they actually do wear different clothes on a certain basis, at least in their own world. Again, something that most people don't realize. This is something logical that is not carried into Season 3. This season contains some pretty good themes, including redemption, the need for purpose, and possibly the dangers of blind ambition. Redemption is demonstrated through Ken's story, the need for purpose through Black War Greymon's story, and the dangers of blind ambition through Oikawa's story, and Malamyotismon's scheme. One could also derive an implication of the eternal nature and fallibility of evil, especially from some of the lines at the end. Yet another common criticism against this season is that it is morally inflated, probably a result of the characters being hesitant to actually destroy their opponents. But again, This is very logical behavior, considering the new group's past experiences. In the Emperor arc, the main characters merely freed attacking monsters from the control of the Emperor, only destroying Chimeramon because he was a relentless beast, and truly was evil. They later destroy Control Spire opponents because they are artificial. It makes sense that the destruction of the Daemon Core would serve as an effective dose of reality, because it reveals how truly dangerous genuinely evil foes can be, which is something that the new team had not fully grasped up to this point. They needed to be aware of the drastic measures they would have to take. The ethical ramifications of taking a life truly are staggering, and this season acknowledges this more than probably any show in this genre, realistically and logically. In addition, I have heard some claims that Season 3 strikes the right balance in terms of tone and theme, whereas the first two seasons were too one-sided. Again, I disagree with this because it is abundantly evident that Zero Two is the season that achieves that point, because it is a type of hybridization of its predecessor and successor. It begins lighthearted enough, but gradually shifts its tone to much darker ground, something that no other season really does, giving it a very balanced structure. The movies spawned by this season are a real testament to how much potential it always had. Overall, Zero Two has two movies, Hurricane Touchdown and Digimon Strikes Back, the latter of which was released on the Disney Channel as a 45-minute special. Hurricane Touchdown is considered by many to be the worst segment of the Digimon movie, but the original version is actually very good. It is about an hour long and has a somber, quite mature tone to it that was lost in the dubbing. The characters act much more confidently here, and the dialogue is improved significantly. The pacing is not bad either. Digimon Strikes Back, often regarded as one of the best of the Digimon movies, is very well deserving of its reputation. It brings back a powerful villain, boasts a well-thought-out scheme, and amazing battles. The animation of this movie is very good, particularly for the city scenes and fights, and Digimon's new form is actually terrifying in appearance. The music, in both versions, complements the scenes well, giving the movie a good climactic feel, although the dub does this a bit better. I honestly would like the dub more than the original in this case, due to better voice acting, if it weren't for the aggravating recycling of music from Season 4. What makes this movie important, though, is that it was the only time that Zero Two director, Jeff Nimoy, was given the creative control to make part of the franchise how he wanted to make it. Thus, this movie should really be regarded as how good the season could have been if it wasn't for bad management decisions. So, there you have it. An extensive evaluation of Digimon Zero Two component by component. And after all of this, what is the final word? From the first episode to the end of Digimon Strikes Back, Zero Two is a neat viewing experience that, along with Season 1, commands more respect from actual critics than do following seasons. From what I can see, Zero Two lands in as the second best season in the entire franchise, just behind Season 1, and I don't consider this personal opinion. I advise anyone to watch Zero Two again after listening to this review. Oh, and if there are any fans of Season 3 listening, don't worry. I sincerely have plenty of good things to say about that season as well.